Alright my friends, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into the often misunderstood realm of spiritual health and recovery. We're talking about finding that unshakable inner strength, that sense of purpose that transcends the daily grind. Recovery isn't just about ditching bad habits, it's about rebuilding, rediscovering who you are beneath the rubble. It's about finding meaning, connection, a reason to keep pushing forward when things get tough. Over the years I've found that spiritual health isn't some lofty, esoteric concept. It's about practical, everyday practices that ground you, that remind you of your inherent worth, your potential. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Spiritual health sounds a bit wishy-washy, a bit out there for me. We're not talking about levitating gurus or chanting mantras on a mountaintop here. We're talking about something much more grounded, something accessible to everyone, regardless of your beliefs or background. It's about tuning into that quiet space within yourself, that place of stillness and knowing that's always there, beneath the chaos of the mind. Addiction thrives on isolation, on making you feel like you're alone in your struggles. Spiritual health smashes through those walls of isolation, reminding you that you are part of something bigger than yourself. It's about tapping into a sense of belonging, of purpose that transcends the lure of addiction. Think of it like this. Imagine a tree. Its roots digging deep into the earth, drawing nourishment and strength. That's what spiritual health does for us. It grounds us, anchors us, gives us the resilience to weather the storms. And the beautiful thing is, spiritual health doesn't require grand gestures or complicated rituals. Now, over the years, through a lot of trial and error, I've found a few practices, a few daily rituals, if you will, that help me stay connected to that spiritual core. These are my 4 pillars, the bedrock of my own spiritual practice. First, every morning, without fail, I have a good old-fashioned chinwag with my higher power. For me, it's as simple as sitting quietly, maybe with a cup of tea, and just talking. I share my fears, my hopes, my gratitude, my utter bewilderment at this crazy thing we call life. Second, I pick up the phone and call my sponsor. This is someone who's walked the path, someone who gets it, someone who doesn't flinch when I delve into the messy realities of my mind. Third, I make a conscious effort to do something, anything, for someone else. Finally, before I drift off to sleep, I delve into the pages of recovery literature. It's about absorbing wisdom, finding comfort in the shared human experience of recovery. Now let's talk about that first pillar, that daily dialogue with my higher power. This practice has become a cornerstone in my life, a moment of stillness amidst the chaos. It's a time when I can be completely honest with myself and with the universe. For years I lived in my head, trapped in a cycle of negative self-talk, shame, and fear. These thoughts were like chains, holding me back from experiencing true peace and happiness. I felt isolated, even when surrounded by people. Prayer, or whatever you choose to call it, became my way of breaking free from that internal prison. It was a lifeline, a way to connect with something greater than myself. It didn't matter what words I used or how I did it, what mattered was the intention behind it. It's about stepping outside of myself, acknowledging that there's something greater at play, something beyond my limited understanding. This realization brought a sense of humility and perspective that I had never experienced before. And the best part is, there's no right or wrong way to do it. Each person's journey is unique, and that's what makes it so beautiful. It's a deeply personal experience that can be tailored to fit your own beliefs and needs. It's not about fancy words or rituals, it's about raw, honest conversation. It's about speaking from the heart, without pretense or fear of judgment. This kind of honesty can be incredibly freeing. Some days it's filled with gratitude, with joy for the simple gift of another day. I find myself marveling at the beauty of the world around me, feeling a deep sense of connection and contentment. Other days it's raw, messy, filled with anger, fear, or doubt. These emotions are just as valid, and expressing them is a crucial part of the process. It's about being true to myself no matter what I'm feeling. And you know what? That's okay. It's okay to have bad days, to feel lost or overwhelmed. What's important is that I acknowledge these feelings and allow myself to experience them fully. Because the act of surrendering those feelings, of releasing them to something larger than myself, is incredibly liberating. It's like a weight being lifted off my shoulders, allowing me to breathe more easily. It's about letting go of the need to control everything, to have all the answers. The surrender brings a sense of peace and acceptance that I had never known before. It's about surrendering to something bigger, something wiser than my own limited perspective. This act of faith, of trust, has transformed my life in ways I never imagined. So, if you're hesitant, I encourage you to give it a try. You might just find the peace and clarity you've been searching for. Right, pillar number 2, picking up the phone and having a good old-fashioned natter with my sponsor. It's not just about talking, it's about connecting, sharing, and feeling heard. Now, I know what you're thinking. Sponsors, aren't they just for, serious cases? People who are really struggling? Well, let me tell you something, my friend. We're all serious cases in the grand scheme of things, aren't we? Life throws challenges at all of us. We all need someone in our corner. Someone who can offer a listening ear and a shoulder to lean on. Someone who's walked the path, who knows the terrain, and can guide us through the rough patches. Someone who understands the unique struggles of recovery. Someone who won't judge, who won't shy away from the messy truth. They see you at your worst and still believe in your best. See, addiction thrives in isolation. It whispers insidious lies, telling you you're alone, that nobody understands. Calling my sponsor is my way of saying, not today, mate. It's a declaration of defiance against those lies. It's about breaking free from that isolation, stepping out of the shadows and into the light, reminding myself that I'm part of a community, a network of support that spans far and wide, a tribe of warriors fighting the same battles. We lift each other up, we celebrate each other's victories. And believe me, those phone calls aren't always pretty. They're raw, they're real. Sometimes they're filled with tears, with frustration, with the overwhelming urge to just say sod it and reach for the old comforts. But that's the beauty of it. It's in those moments of vulnerability that true strength is found. Having someone who's been there, who gets it, who can offer a lifeline when you feel like you're drowning, who can offer support without judgment, it's invaluable. It's a reminder that you're not alone in this journey. So, pick up the phone, reach out, because in the end, it's the power of shared experience that lights the way forward. Alright, let's talk about pillar number 3, that daily dose of good old-fashioned kindness. You see, addiction is inherently selfish. It's all about me, myself, and I. Recovery, on the other hand, is about breaking free from that self-centeredness, about recognizing our interconnectedness, our shared humanity. And what better way to do that than through acts of kindness? It doesn't have to be anything grand. It's about those small, everyday gestures that ripple outwards, creating a more compassionate world, one interaction at a time. It could be as simple as smiling at a stranger, offering a helping hand, or simply listening with your full attention when someone needs to talk. It's about shifting our focus outward, away from our own internal struggles, and towards making someone else's day a little bit brighter. And the funny thing is, when we focus on giving, on being of service to others, something magical happens. Our own problems seem less overwhelming, our own burdens feel a little bit lighter. Right then, let's talk about that final pillar, the one that helps me wind down, find a bit of peace before I drift off to the land of nod diving into the pages of recovery literature. It's a ritual that has become a cornerstone of my nightly routine. Now I know what you're thinking, books, reading. In this fast-paced world, who has the time? That doesn't sound very rock and roll, Russell. But listen, my friends, these aren't your average dusty tomes. These are words that have been forged in the fires of experience, written by those who have walked the path of recovery themselves. These are words that have the power to guide us, to inspire us, to lift us up when we feel like we can't go on. Words that have the power to remind us that we're not alone on this journey. You see, recovery literature for me is like a lifeline. It's a constant source of wisdom, of comfort, of reassurance that I'm not the first one to walk this path, and I certainly won't be the last. It's about tapping into a collective wisdom, a shared human experience that transcends time and space. It's about finding solace in the knowledge that others have faced the same demons, the same struggles, and have emerged victorious. Now, I'm not talking about dogma or rigid rules here. I'm talking about finding words that resonate with you, words that speak to your soul, words that inspire you to keep going, even when things get tough. It's about connecting with the stories of others, feeling their triumphs and their pain, and realizing that we are all part of a larger narrative. It's about finding that one sentence, that one paragraph, that can change your perspective, that can give you the strength to face another day. So, if you haven't yet explored the world of recovery literature, I urge you to give it a try. You might just find the guidance and inspiration you've been looking for. Remember, the journey of recovery is not one we have to walk alone. There is a wealth of wisdom out there waiting to be discovered, waiting to help us on our way. So let's open those books and let the words within them light our path. So there you have it, my friends, my 4 pillars of spiritual health and recovery. Now remember, these are just the tools that work for me. Your journey is unique, your path will unfold in its own time, in its own way. The important thing is to find what resonates with you, what speaks to your soul, what helps you connect with that inner strength, that sense of peace that resides within. It might be meditation, it might be spending time in nature, it might be dancing like nobody's watching. Whatever it is, embrace it. Don't be afraid to experiment, to try new things, to step outside of your comfort zone. And remember, spiritual growth, much like recovery itself, is not a linear process. There will be days when you feel lost, confused, even resistant. That's okay. It's all part of the journey.